Hey yo, this is DJ SonSu, aka Buddha Monk, and you're watching Heritage Hip Hop.
Peace and blessings, everybody. Karev is back, but not only are we back, we're better because we always bring fresh new faces to the table. Introduce yourself to the people.
What's going on, everybody? My name is SonSu, better known Buddha Monk or Ro. How you doing? I'm glad to be here.
Hey man, we happy to have you because this was in the making for like almost a year now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And I love how we can say that because it shows growth, it shows time, and it shows depth.
Absolutely.
So we are all about hip hop, but hip hop is not just music. And the role that you play in hip hop is very ceremonial. Tell us how you got into hip hop and how did hip hop inspire you?
I was a kid in the Bronx. I was born in the Bronx, New York. And my oldest brother was actually one of Curtis Blow's DJs. So coming up I grew up in Edenwald Projects in the Bronx. And it was already kind of like hip hop around, but because my brother was already dealing with, you know, these different cats in the hip hop game, like Patrice Lumumba from X Clan, Curtis Blow, you know, all these different jokers. And my brother would take me to a show here and there, whatever was going on, like in Harlem. I remember I went to Rap Mania. He took me to Rap Mania. I know he was in Fresh Fest with Curtis. My brother was the second DJ because Curtis Blow did have AJ Scratch, rest in peace. But it kind of came from my brothers, my brother Tashim and my brother Bill Black, getting into the hip hop thing. You know, I remember I think my first record that I was given was the Skinny Boys. Skinny Boys, yeah. But my first hip hop record was the Skinny Boys. But my brother, they used to lace me with like, you know, cassette tapes with different things that they were doing, like songs or whatever. But that's how I came up. That's how I got introduced to hip hop, rather.
Hip hop is organic because no one can give you a book and say this is hip hop. Learn it. Hip hop is like the first love of every guy.
Absolutely.
Nas, even Scarface even did a song about it. It's like hip hop will grab you and entice you to want to just be more than what you think you are.
Absolutely.
What more did you grab onto to be hip hop?
I was more of like a beat guy. I was into beats, you know. I remember in the Bronx around that time, like in the 80s, I remember Eric B. and Rakim, Eric B. for president. And it was like the greatest thing I ever heard. That and Public Enemy, it takes a nation of millions to hold us back. I remember just the music, being, you know, hypnotized by the music. And I used to roller skate too. So when I used to go to the skate key on the weekend, they would be playing hip hop. And yeah, it was more of a musical person. I didn't get into the whole lyric aspect until like later. Actually, not that far, because Brother Jay was like one of the dopest rappers to me back then from X Clan, and I had X Clan album by way of my brother dealing with Lumumba and them. But yeah, that's more where my vein was at, like on some beat stuff.
I miss those days of hip hop for the simple fact that there was nothing like going down the street and hearing 12 cars play the same album and hearing 12 different songs.
Absolutely.
And nowadays you can't even hear the music because everybody just streaming and they got their headphones on.
Yeah.
So tell me about that feeling where you will be walking to the block trying to get some chips from the store, and then you hear, let's just take Public Enemy for instance. You'll hear Black Steel and Hour of Chaos. Then you turn the corner and it's Can I Get a Witness? Then you turn the corner and it's Rebel Without a Pause. How did that feel to you, and how did that come to life?
At the time, it felt wonderful. It felt great. You know, like when you grow up in the projects, you already know what the projects consist of. You know, poverty-wise, you know, whatever. When that music hits you, it takes you away from that. It takes you actually away from that. I'm actually skipping something. I gotta mention B Street, because when I saw B Street, I used to do the Electric Boogie too. I was kind of like a dancer too. But B Street also was one of those things that were instrumental in hip hop for me. But to answer your question, it made me feel wonderful, man. It made me feel great. I remember just, you know, the bop, and it was the whole projects. It was all the kids in the projects is, you know, to this new thing. And I think even sampling was like the thing at that time too. It had just with the James Brown stuff, everybody was kind of like sampling James Brown. That was another captivating thing too. Yeah, that was another captivating thing too. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, it felt wonderful. It felt great just knowing that, you know, it was all around you and everything.
Yeah, when I heard X-Clan for the first time, it was to the East Blackwards.
Yes.
And they had Parliament Funkadelic being scratched on every song, talking about the motherland and ox and the red, the black, the green, and
the verb stick.
Yeah,
you know, the
grand verbalizer. What time is it? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
They was talking about pyramids and all that stuff back then. We didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? But they was what we evolved into now as in consciousness. They was talking about that back then in the 80s, yo. You know what I mean? The third eye, the Ankh, you know, the red, black, and green, and that's. Can I curse?
Of course.
That shit kind of made you feel proud, you know, the red, black, and green. I remember I had the medallion. I had the medallions, and you know remember Just Ice.
Of course.
You know, Just Ice with the leather, the hat. You know what I'm saying, with the hats. That's how it was in the Bronx. It was really, yo, it was real live Beach Street. Cause even on the trains, I had to take the train to the skate key. The number 2 trains would have graffiti on it, like right there, White Plains Road, Gun Hill Road. You know, so like, I'm glad I came really from the birthplace of where hip hop was born, cause I was there. I was there.
So let me ask you this: see, the Bronx is legendary. I think every person who loves hip hop should visit the Bronx.
Yes,
I think it's very important.
It's a bucket list thing.
And like when you go to the Bronx and you see the parks. And some of the parks aren't even there no more.
Nah.
So the areas you can see like street light only, you know what I'm saying? But when you go there, there's a certain flavor and there's a certain bop to the Bronx that other people don't have. What is the Bronx?
Bro, the Bronx is a melting pot, a smorgasbord of just culture. You got the Spanish,
Love
you got Puerto Ricans,
Love
you got it in them projects. Everybody's on top of each other, and they come from. You got Puerto Ricans, you got Hondurans, you got black people, you got Haitian, you got Jamaican, Trinidadian, you got Guyanese.
Shout out to all our people from every island.
All our people from the island, West Indian type stuff. So to answer that question, that's what at that time that's what the Bronx was. It was just a beautiful mixture of all this. I mean, look at Rocksteady, look at Crazy Legs, and all these different communities that was contributing. Everybody rocked with each other. It was at that time like the United Nations of like soulful hip hop. You know, in the beginning, that's what it was, man. The Bronx is. We had our own slang. Like I remember moving to Newark, and they actually told me I talk funny. When I first moved to Newark, I talk funny, and I was just right there across the water. But lo and behold, Jersey was kind of country to me too, in the beginning, because that was the correlation between the Bronx and Newark. My uncle was one of the founders of New Community, and my grandmother was his sister. So they would come visit over in the Bronx, and we would go to Newark, New Community, when I was like in 84, 85, and I would visit. And even the smell was different. The kids talk a little weird because it was like red. It was like a little country. It was a little twang with the language. But the Bronx, man, is like, oh man, there's no place like it. I suggest everybody should visit the Bronx if you haven't. Every hip hop person over the planet, you gotta visit the Bronx. You gotta go to Gun Hill Road. You gotta go to Fordham Road. You gotta go where the Bronx Zoo is at. You gotta go where they film Beach Street. You gotta go to all these different places. But oh yeah. KRS-One and Scott La Rock, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, the Bronx definitely has their own planet, so to speak. I don't know how it is now because it's kind of different, but back then I do remember it being different and inspirational in a sense.
Devastating.